Hello everyone. Today is a very special day because today is MONSTA X's 5th year debut anniversary, which is the best for me as a monbebe. To celebrate, I thought I would make a video showcasing my entire MONSTA X collection because it has changed a lot over the years. I have collected a lot more since when I first started studying MONSTA X, and now they're my old group, so we love that for me, I guess. This video, I'm basing it off of fromiseventeen and Ava from Tradepetals videos. They just have such great video ideas and they really went all into depth on their collection, so I thought I would do this for my MONSTA X collection and use it as a video to compare how this collection is going to grow over the next few years. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about albums first just because it feels like the most reasonable thing to do, so I hope y'all enjoy this video. So for albums, this is MONSTA X's debut album, their Trespass album. I absolutely love this album, even though the quality is kind of bad because it's literally just cardboard with some pictures squeezed in between it, but it's a really good album for their first album. Like, the songs are so good, so good. For me, my favorite song has to be Trespass. Not because the song is good, because the song is good, but it's just, there's so many videos that come along with Trespass and like so many different versions of it, and it just makes me happy to hear this song. But yeah, this was their debut album. It's amazing. 10 out of 10. Would recommend getting this album if y'all want to start collecting MONSTA X albums. But yes, I forgot to mention, but I don't have a complete album collection because I am just not that financially stable to have a complete album collection. So if there are any albums which I don't have all versions to, I will just include a picture of all of them complete so y'all can see the versions. But yes, moving on, we have MONSTA X's second mini album, which is Rush. There was an original version and a secret version. Me personally, I quite like the secret version just because the original version has a lot of cool concept photos, but the secret version just to me hits home. I don't know why, so I'm gonna look at this one. It's so funny to see their concepts. They're all like sporty and things like that. I don't know, I like the secret version's concepts a lot more. These pictures, they're like offbeat, they're candid, they're very good. But yeah, this was secret. Their photo cards for this album also is peak because they were more of the laid back cuter style compared to the original version of the album, because the original version had like more photo shoot type photo cards while this one had laid back funny photo cards, so I really like that. For this mini album, they had 6 songs, and my favorite out of all of them, it's probably Amen, because that is such a good song. The music video for it is adorable out of everything. But this also was the album that had Hero on it, and Hero was the music video that got me into MONSTA X. I discovered it way later than it was released though, so sucks to suck for me, I guess. But yeah, this album is very special to me just because it is the album which got me into MONSTA X, at least for the songs of it, because after I watched Hero, I started watching all of their music videos. So after Rush was the start of their clan series slash concept, and their third mini album was this one for the clan. I only have the lost version, but there is a found version. I just can't seem to find it anywhere, so which is kind of ironic because of the name. But yes, this one has All In, and I don't know why people are sleeping on All In, but All In is that song, I gotta say. Okay, so my favorite song on this album really has to be either All In or X Girl, because those two are top tier songs, I gotta say. They really are those songs. But After that, we have the Clan Part 2 and their comeback albums, which are the Guilty version and the Innocent version. These versions are really cute once again. I just love all the concepts that Monsta X have come out with. I don't know why, but the Clan really was that era for me. Can I say this is one of the top tier albums for Monsta X in terms of songs, because all of these songs are peak, but my favorite has to be Queen or Be Quiet out of these two, out of those songs, because those really hit hard for me. But yes, my favorite version is the Guilty version, even though it's the most recent version that I've got from these two albums. But the photo book really is top tier in the Guilty version compared to the Innocent version. Like Kihyun, Tankyeon, they look so good in this version for no reason. This was a really good album, also top tier, one of my favorites. We have the Clan 2.5, which is beautiful, but they do have 3 versions for this album and I only have 2 because it's really hard to find the beautiful version because it's really expensive, and I don't know, people just like that version the most, so I only have 2 of the 3 versions that they have. I have the Brilliant version and the B-side version. Was here for this comeback. It was my first comeback ever, and the song was a bop. This whole album was amazing, S tier for me, because I don't know, this comeback was really good. Deserved a win, was robbed of the win. I don't know why, but she deserved a win. Beautiful deserved a win because that song was so good. Out of these 2 versions, I really like the Brilliant version. I don't know why I was prone to just liking this version more, but the photos in this concept, in the Brilliant version concept, are just really good. So for this album, it is a box type of packaging, which for me, I don't really like because it's really hard to take it out of the box unless you like constantly open it. But yeah, this was this version, and it didn't come with a photo book. It came with more of these postcard photos instead of an actual photo book, but the concepts on this one are really nice. It really showcases the entire beautiful concept with their strengths and everything, and it was really good for me. This album was also one of the first Monsta X albums that I ever got, because I think it was the 3rd album from Monsta X that I owned at the time, because I got it for Christmas from one of my friends, and I'm really thankful because I ended up pulling Jooheon and Chaenghyun in this album, and that really hit home for me, and that's why I collect Jooheon and Chaenghyun along with Kihyun right now. For this album, we have the top tier song Beautiful, of course, but then we have all these other songs, and really, oh my god, all these songs are to die for. I love Need You, Calm Down, all of them, really, I really love all of them. Last Page 514 is based off their debut date, and it's a song towards Monbebe, and I cry. All the songs that they dedicate towards Monbebe and their anniversary really hits home for me, and I get really emotional listening to them. So sometimes I can't listen to these songs, I have to skip them or else I'll start being really sad, but this song is great. If I were to recommend one song, it would definitely be Calm Down, because that song, top tier, that song. So after Beautiful, they gave us a repackage because that was their first album, and this repackage is Shine Forever. This repackage did come with 2 versions. I don't have the Shine Forever version because these repackaged go for more than regular albums do, so I'm trying to save up in order to try and get those. But I do have the complete X-Clan version because, once again, I love the X-Clan concept and all that they have going on with that concept and the storyline behind it, so I had to get this one. I keep the album like this because I don't know why Starship decided to put an album inside an envelope, but they did. And Shine Forever is in these little envelope things, and it annoys the heck out of me because they always get damaged when you try to open them, because you can either open them from the fold right here, which I did, and then I ended up damaging it. It doesn't even matter, everybody's albums are damaged at this point, It's either you open it like that or you open it at this tear point right here, and oh, it gets on my nerves that this album had to be in this package because I don't know how to store it. So I just end up putting this in like a little corner of my shelf and having the album out like this instead. One thing I also hated is that when they did signs for these albums, they signed on this instead of the actual album, which really confused me and kind of pisses me off, because why would they sign on this part instead of the album like that? Oh, I'm not even gonna get into it. I really didn't like that. This version came with a bunch of pictures, and it also had random member CD plates. I got Hyunwon CD plate. I don't really trade for these, and Hyunwon looks dope on the CD plate anyway, so what's not to love about a Hyunwon CD plate? I also really like the concept in this album just because it is based on X-Clan, and the pictures, oh my god, they're so good. Look at these cute little pictures. Oh, the complete X-Clan version really goes into all their concepts, and it's just a summary of the entire concept, and it has a bunch of old photo shoots, new photo shoots. I love it. I love this version so much compared to the Shine Forever version, which is just based on their current concepts in there. Back to the envelope to look at the actual songs. I swear to God, Starship. For this album, it came with a bunch of songs because it is a repackage. It basically has all the songs on the Beautiful album, but it also came with Shine Forever and Gravity. And out of those two, I really like Shine Forever. Gravity is a good song, but I don't know, Shine Forever just hits home for me on this album. And after Shine Forever, we come up on my favorite Monsta X era ever, which is The Code. This is because Dramarama is my favorite title track out of all the Monsta X title tracks. I don't know why. It's exceptional. I love the title track so much. The music video is really good. This is when they introduced a new kind of concept for Monsta X with their time travel things and all the connections. Kihyun with his gray hair, it is also my favorite Kihyun era because of that. Oh, everyone looks so good. This also was the era that got them their first win, and I remember staying up for the live stream of the music show, and then when they were announced, I literally yelled and started crying. It was just a huge moment for me and for everyone. I don't think I stopped crying for like the rest of the day / a few more days after that, because they kept saying thank you to Monbebe and everybody. But yes, this is my favorite era ever, so of course these would be my favorite albums ever. But yeah, for me, I don't have a favorite version because both versions are really nice, so we're just gonna look at both of them. So for this album, there were a lot of inclusions. I think they are the most inclusions that they have ever included for any of their albums, but it doesn't matter to me. It's my favorite album, so I gotta love the inclusions. The inclusions were a random member photo book, a random CD plate, a photo card, and a unit card, and also a pre-order Polaroid benefit, and there were so many unit cards to try and find. For this version, I got Wano's photo book and Minhyuk's CD plate, which is really great. I was yelling when I saw this because me and my friend, who also likes Monsta X, we have this running joke that Wano and Minhyuk are forever her best friends, and Kihyun and Changhyun were my best friends because those were our bias and bias records, and they always seem to be planning stuff behind her back. I don't know, it is a long story, but yes, we have Wano's photo book, which is absolutely stunning. I love all their member photo books, and then Minhyuk's CD plate is aesthetically pleasing. But yes, the Decode version, ladies and gentlemen, has one of the best photo books relating to the music video for me. But I did pull Kihyun's member photo book, and I cried because of it, because he looks so good in this photo book. But we're not gonna get too into that. I also pulled Changhyun's CD, which was amazing for me because these are two of my 3 biases, so that was absolutely, like, it blew my mind. I was freaking out about it. But yes, this photo book is one of my favorite photo books for Monsta X just because it relates to the music video so nicely and they have such nice pleasing photos. I don't know, it really just ties in this era for me, this photo book, and I really like it a lot. As for the songs, of course Dramarama is my favorite song on this album, but Your Dea also is my favorite song. In time, this album just my favorite album ever, so all the songs are really good on this album. So after the code, this is when Starship decided that they would start making 4 versions for each comeback that they would have, which absolutely blew my mind at the time. But now absolutely I hate it so much because my wallet cannot comprehend how much money I have to be spending to get all 4 versions every time. But yes, this is the Connect Deja Vu, their next album after the code. It comes with 4 versions. Their version names are really simple, just version 1, 2, 3, and 4. For me, my favorites are either version 3 or version 2, so we're gonna look at those real quick instead of just having all of them out. So this album has the same type of opening as the code version does, and the CDs are really nice. They're all different concepts. In the photo books, I absolutely love this photo book because of, again, the music video really ties into this entire photo book, and Kihyun looks so cute in this one, just saying. I had to, you know. This album, the inclusions were quite a lot if you pre-ordered, which is why I think I joined the group order. It came with this poster, of course, and they're all mini posters in the album. They're all different and it's amazing, but I love this mini poster a lot for me. The albums, they came with a pre-order postcard again, and then you got, I think, 4 photo cards per album, which is a ton, just saying, because for me it was a ton at the moment. There were unit cards, there were group cards, there were so many photo cards. I remember version 3 being my favorite version for all of these albums at the time that I got these albums because I pulled Kihyun's big postcard inclusion as well as a Kihyun photo card, which was my first ever Kihyun photo card pull in my life, so I was really excited about that. I also got a Changhyun photo card and a Changhyun and Juhan unit, which basically means in this one album I pulled my entire top 3 and I was really over the moon about it. But yes, this album really is that album. I really love the Connect and all this time travel business. I really love what Monsta X really has for this. As for the songs, they list it here. Jealousy, oh my gosh, what a good song. But my favorite song on this album really has to be Fallen. Fallen really is that song. I feel like everybody in every Monbebe, if you don't love Fallen, what it happens, because Monsta X go completely wild when it comes to Fallen. After those albums, we have Are You There, which is another 4 version album, of course, and if you put them together, they just basically form the words Are You There, and you really can't see it at all because this is literally just a white book covering for their album versions, which really, why do you have to do this, Starship? You can't even see the words unless the sun is on it at a specific setting. Like, I don't understand why they're this. We can't complain, we bought all of them anyways. But yes, there are 4 versions, version 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once again, my favorite out of all of this has to be version 4, just because the concept for their photos is my favorite. Version 4 was my favorite. The album comes with a mini poster inside, which is like this, and it's different for all of them. But for this album, ignoring this first part, which is of course amazing, version 4 is my favorite because of the second concept that they have. Oh my gosh, do you see this? It's such a great concept photo, and I'm so glad that their photo cards were based off of this. Like, oh my gosh, they all look so good for this version, I kid you not. With this album, you got a photo card, of course, a group card, and then a Polaroid, which is member specific and came with a VLive code, and those VLive codes are absolutely adorable. I still listen to them when I get sad. You can't really see the track list because, again, of how this book cover is. For me, my favorite song really is Mohe, but because Chankyun wrote it, but also it is a really good song. But this album is one of my top 3 albums besides The Code and besides Beautiful. This really is one of my top 3 because all of the songs on this album are S tier quality. I love it so much, this album. The next album that they released was We Are Here, which is basically the sequel to Are You There? And it's basically the same thing, except this one's black and hollow, which I'm better about. I'm okay with this, at least, because it's hollow and it's black. And you can just see it better on each of the versions, which is really good, instead of having just a complete white background. Once again, there are 4 versions, version 1, 2, 3, and 4 again. For me, my favorite version out of this album is version 3. This album, you got Polaroids, but this time they were group Polaroids, a bunch of photo cards. They had 2 photo cards per version, and then they had the group card that they released. Wow, can y'all see how good this photo book is? They look so good. Oh my gosh. For me, I really like when they do unit cards with all the members, just random whatever selfies they take, and then they use them as photo cards. I really love that, which is why, again, The Code, peak era. Their most recent comeback, which is one of my favorite comebacks at the moment. This comeback was amazing. I absolutely love it. This era was robbed because somebody decided to spill some tea that wasn't even hot or sizzling. It wasn't even real tea to be spilled. The songs are great. Everything about this era was great besides one thing, and that was the drama that came out of this era. I really don't understand why that had to have happened and how it got so out of hand. This really is one of my favorite eras just because it was the last era that Monsta X was OT7, because now Wano is solo, but I digress. I still love all of them with all my heart. Follow, there were a ton of inclusions. There were standees, bookmarks, ID cards, and then photo cards for each version. And then they also had member-specific lyric books. And for follow, I pulled Hyungwon, Minhyuk, and Juhan, but then I ended up trading Kihyun and Chankyun's photo books. But yes, my favorite version out of all of these photo books, once again, has to be version 3. And I'll show y'all why. This was the bathtub concept, I like to call it. This concept's really nice, but their photo shoot in this was amazing. The photo cards for this was really good. I absolutely love this concept out of all of them. For the track list, all of these songs are so good right now because of See You Again and Find You. Those are just songs that I can't listen to or else I'll get really sad again. Put that on my playlist of sad songs that Monsta X puts out. But You Are, or Mirror, or Follow, out of those 3, those are my top 3 songs for this album. They're just so good. I can't. Follow really could have been an era that broke so many records, but it just got closed down early and I don't appreciate it. But yeah, Follow era also came with a Kino, which was the first time Monsta X ever released a Kino, and now they're doing it for their most recent comeback, which is great, I guess, but I don't really, for me as an international fan, I don't really see the need for Kinos because I'm gonna have the CD anyways. But I had to get it because photo cards. It came with a bunch of postcard sets, and then of course the Kino itself. Oh my gosh, as you can see. But yeah, that was it for Follow. It really had 5 versions technically. Now that was it for Monsta X's Korean albums. They do have a bunch of Japanese albums, and I don't collect those just because they are more expensive than Korean albums for me, and their photo cards aren't really a priority, so I don't end up collecting their Japanese albums. But I must say that their Japanese title tracks are one of the top tier title tracks that MONSTA X ever puts out. Every single one of their Japanese title tracks are those songs. They're all S tier. If you have a chance, please listen to Spotlight. That is the best Japanese title track MONSTA X has ever put out. It's so good. I love it so much. Now, for another recent comeback, MONSTA X did have an American album release, which gets on my nerves, but we did it anyways because we love MONSTA X. Again my least favorite type of album packaging. I don't know what happened with their American label, but they really didn't do that well in promoting this album. They do have 4 versions with this ugly covering. I'm not even gonna put it version 1, 2, 3, and 4. The entire photo book for all the versions are completely the same, and that really pisses me off because then there is no need to buy 4 versions. All the photo card sets are also completely the same, so I really didn't have to buy 4 versions, but they didn't tell us this until the release date, and a lot of us pre-ordered these albums, which really sucks. But I have all 4 anyways, so I'm not even gonna pick a version to look through. Let's just look through version 1, I guess. Besides the fact that their album has only 1 version, I really love all the songs on this album besides Who Do You Love. Who Do You Love can... It doesn't need to be on this album, but all of the other songs that they released on this album, I love them so much. My favorite one really has to be Happy Without Me. That has to be my favorite one for this one. This photo book, they really went off on the second concept. The second concept really was so good and deserved its own version, but no, Epic Records didn't want to do that. But yes, this was basically the entire photo book, and then they released these versions of the album, but they also released member exclusive versions, which were member specific, and when you buy them it comes with this top. This basically is my favorite version out of all of them because I bought Kihyun's version. You could get either member specific versions or you can get another one like this but smaller and this size. I don't understand why the member specific versions wouldn't have member specific photos, but I digress. This album really was so bad with album wise, but song wise was so good, so it's 50-50 for this album. Okay, so that was it for albums for my MONSTA X collection. I'm gonna move on to merch now before photo cards because merch is really small for me. I don't really have that much MONSTA X merch because I only started collecting around the second half of last year in 2019. So before that, I really was just a casual album collector and buyer, and I wasn't really, even though I really wanted other things that MONSTA X puts out, I really couldn't afford all of them. But now that I collect, I do have different priorities and things like that, so I have got a few more things as of merch. The first thing that I have as of merch are their 2 light sticks. For MONSTA X, they have a version 1 and a version 2 of their light stick that they have just released. I really love the packaging of version 1 just because it says for Monbebe, and it's really adorable, this whole vibe that the version 1 light stick gives out. Oh, she's a beauty! She's a beauty. This is what the version 1 light stick looks like. I absolutely love it. It still is one of the prettiest light sticks that I own, and I only own a few light sticks, but yes, I did put a Kihyun decal on it. It was really old decal. I don't really like it anymore, but it's purple and it matches, so we still have it on here. But I really love this light stick. It's one of my favorites. I've used it at 2 MONSTA X concerts so far, and I'm really hoping to use the next light stick at another MONSTA X concert if I do have enough money saved up. But fingers crossed for that. I really love this light stick a lot. Now for the version 2 light stick, it did come in a different type of box, but it basically just got an entire upgrade. The version 2 light stick looks like this, and it also is very, very pretty. It is a bit dyed down compared to this version 2. It's like their concept grew with MONSTA X and they just transferred it and upgraded it, which I love it anyways. This light stick really is so pretty. I do have another Kihyun decal on this light stick because decals just up the light stick game in my opinion, but I really love both of these light sticks. They are my favorite light sticks that any K-pop artist has put out, and I'm so glad that MONSTA X are the group that put out these light sticks so that I can actually buy them. But yes, these were their two light stick versions, and I'm really happy about them, and I love them so much and I cherish them a lot. Now, the only other piece of MONSTA X merchandise that is official merchandise that I have is their 2020 Season's Greetings. I've always wanted to buy their Season's Greetings, and I've always wanted to buy their MONSTA X membership kit, but I never have enough money by the time the order period comes around, which sucks so much. But I did have enough for the 2020 Season's Greeting this year, so I did order it. And I was really sad to see that it's only 6 members, but it's okay. The Season's Greetings does come with a diary and everything like that, but I'm really right now using it for the calendar and then of course the photo cards that came with it. This month was Juhan, so we're showcasing Juhan in this video. That's really it for official merchandise from MONSTA X. I do own a few fansite goods from MONSTA X, one of them being a Kihyun slogan, and I do have another Kihyun slogan on the way. A few other goods that I have that are non-official is this MONSTA X pin that was fan-made. It glows in the dark, which is really cute, but I bought it at my first MONSTA X concert and it's really special to me, so I put this pin everywhere with me. And then these are birthday books that fan sites released for some birthdays and anniversaries for MONSTA X. These were the cheapest ones that I could find that were simpler books. A lot of fan sites release really fat, thick books that I don't have the money for, but when these simpler ones came out, I had to grab them. So I do have a Kihyun one, a Cheongyun one, and then a Hyungwon one. These books really just include fan site photos from the specific fan site and then a thank you for supporting me, you know, things like that in these books. I really love looking through them. It showcases a lot of pictures from different eras, so that's it really. That was pretty much it for merchandise. I guess now we can move on to the more exciting thing, which is my photo cards. This is my MONSTA X photo card collection. It has grown a lot since I first started collecting photo cards, because beforehand I used to just keep the photo cards I had in my albums, but now that I collect, they really are this collection really is growing a lot. I do go more into depth about this in my MONSTA X photo card collection video, but I'm really gonna speed through this because some things have changed in this binder. Just so y'all know, I do collect 3 members of MONSTA X. I collect Kihyun, which is my ult, but then I also collect Cheongyun and Juhan because those are my 2 biases other than Kihyun. This collection is in no way complete at all. I am missing so many cards, and there are so many things that I also want to collect besides just Korean album photo cards, but I really don't have the money or the resources to do so at the moment, so this is all that my collection is right now. I'm really proud of it. I really want to improve more on it and finish collecting the Korean cards, but for now this is what I have for my collection. I do store it a bit differently. I do store by era first, but I also make sure that all 3 of the cards for those versions are on one page so that I don't have to flip through and compare them if I want to look at all of them. But I put Kihyun in the middle because he's my ult, and then I put Juhan here and Cheongyun here just because of age, or when you look at things like this you usually drift towards the middle instead of the sides, so I put Kihyun in the middle. And I do double side my photo cards, so really there's a lot of room to improve on the older books on the older albums. I really do love collecting all of the photo cards, and I'm really excited because I'm kind of almost done with Kihyun's collection, and Juhan and Cheongyun really have a long way to go, but for Kihyun, I'm not missing a bunch of his cards anymore, and I'm really happy about that. But can I show y'all my favorite Kihyun card out of all of these? Out of all the photo cards that I collect, this one has to be my favorite Kihyun photo card from Are You There? The version 3, I think, because it is adorable. The skull is there, he's adorable, he's looking cute, I really love it. But I do have a lot of Kihyun photo cards that are my favorite that I don't have in my collection, just because they're from the code and from the connect, and those photo cards are really hard to find at the moment. So once I get my actual favorite Kihyun card, I will be really excited. But yes, I don't really know what else to say. There are a lot of room to improve on my photo card collection, but as of now, this really is all that's ready here. But I'm really excited for what has to come with MONSTA X photo cards in their collection. I don't really have much, but I'm really excited on what their photo cards for this next comeback will be. And I have no idea if I'm going to keep all the photo cards, just because I'm not used to seeing 6 on a page like this, and I don't know if I'm gonna include 6 on a page as of next time. I don't know if I want to put the kihyunhos separately and sell all the other members, because I really love seeing 7-member spreads, and 6 members really doesn't hit home for me. It makes me sad, but I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. But yes, this is my photo card collection. It's not much. I do have most of their bigger things. I don't know why that's easier for me to collect, I guess. But yeah, this is the photo card collection. Very exciting, but also very stressful because I really want to complete it. But it's really hard to complete at the moment because not a lot of people are trading and not a lot of people are selling their MONSTA X collections. But yes, that was basically my entire MONSTA X photo card collection. It's not big. There are a ton of people that have so many more cards than me, but I'm really proud of how far I've made it. And yes, I'm gonna put the light sticks here while I talk because I really love holding them and looking at them. But that was it for my entire MONSTA X collection. I hope y'all enjoyed this video because I really did like talking about MONSTA X on their anniversary day, just because they really hit home for me as my alt group. I really get emotional when they achieve things. So yes, please look out for Fantasia when it releases. I really hope y'all like the new album and continue to support MONSTA X as 6 members. And also continue to support Wano on his solo career because, I don't know, I feel like MONSTA X really need the support right now. And we're just off to a rocky start, but I want things to get better. So yes, I hope y'all enjoyed my little MONSTA X collection video. It's not much. It really is not much of a collection, but I'm really proud of it. And I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.